I have a feeling Isaac would put Gordon Ramsay to shame.
He is quite brutal in his kitchen.
Aye.
2 episodes on, and we seem to have moved on from Joel's shocking demise.
Well, aside from the fact this entire mission is all about seeking revenge for his murder.
Yeah, well, there is that. But we're also learning more about the lore around Seattle, and this quietly aggressive leader called Isaac.
The flashback at the start was a bit of a weird scene, and then it got really dark.
And we don't actually understand what happened. Why did he switch sides? Why did he give one soldier a chance? And what's going on with those scarred people? They're devoted religious extremists. You can't win against fanaticism.
And Ellie and Dina stumble into the middle of all that.
It actually seems like there's no third group like we thought last week, and the wolves did kill that little group of scarred people. I quite like that we don't know what's going on, as our focus is on Ellie and Dina, and even when we get a flashback or a scene with other characters, it still doesn't give us any idea what's really going on.
Except that war is brutal on both sides.
So, without having any clue as to what's happening, Ellie and Dina sneak into a wolf base, only to see that the Sephirites got there first and truly went to town, eviscerating every wolf in there.
The
Seraphites?
It's what those scarred people are called.
That scene was pretty gruesome.
And as timing would have it, Ellie and Dina get in minutes before reinforcements do, so they have to hide unless they want the wolves to think they did that butchering. What are the odds, eh?
That sort of stuff happens all the time in movies, but the tension was really well executed. The fear of being found, the desperation, the sudden decisions. I was on the edge of my seat.
Because you thought Dina wouldn't make it?
Well, I don't think they'll kill Ellie.
Yeah, you need at least one silhouette for those opening credits.
And it was gripping how a desperate attempt to escape led to an even bigger crisis for them.
Out of the frying pan into the fire, eh? More like in front of a flamethrower.
I know you said that in season 1, every time Infected took over a scene, you didn't like it, but here, both during the Siege of Jackson and in the Underground, I thought the scenes were very gripping and scary.
Yeah, they were good, but really, they were acting just like generic zombies. Was there any difference between these scenes and those from, say, 28 Days Later?
Yeah, but you've got to agree, they were good scenes.
Oh yeah, I do. And then Ellie sacrifices her secret to save Dina.
That too was a good moment.
Although, why was Ellie acting so surprised when, once they got out of harm's way, Dina pointed a gun at her ready to shoot? Did she forget no one knew she was immune?
Yeah, I thought that was weird too, but it eventually led to a big reveal.
And I think I now know how Dina's gonna meet her maker.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, the reason Ellie is immune is because her mom got bit when she was pregnant, and the immunity somehow passed on to the baby. But does anyone really know that? I'm thinking that at some point the same will happen to Dina. It will be real sad and all, but the baby will survive and will then be immune, making people realize that the potential cure exists. But it will come at a very high cost.
Oh, you mean like the blight from the excellent DS9 episode The Quickening?
Well, I'm not saying it would be original, but it would make sense.
Yeah, but you're really guessing at this point.
Oh yeah, I have no idea, and I haven't read or seen any spoilers. I just like to wonder about stuff and postulate theories and all.
Well, speculation aside, I enjoyed this episode. There were tender moments, disturbing moments, and moments of sheer terror. We went through every possible emotion. I obviously will miss Joel, but life moves on, and right now, the story is gripping and certainly keeps us interested. I'm quite offended that Isaac would use such a beautiful Movial pan like that.
These things are so damned expensive.
They're the best of the best.
That's the act of a desperate man who's losing the war against religious fanatics. It's not easy to win a war against a fanatical cult. It does give us conflicting emotions, as we don't actually know which side to root for.
Oh, that's easy. We're rooting for Ellie and Dina. And the baby.
Of course.
And Shimmer, the horse. Obviously. So, these were our thoughts on The Last of Us episode, Day 1. Now, if you like what we do, and how we do it,
and you feel you'd like to help us out,
please consider joining our Patreon.
As long as you can afford it, of course. We'll leave a link to it in the description and pinned comment.
Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll speak to you again next time.